Hello, let me welcome Bernd Fesel, who is the interim CEO of the Culture and Creativity, which got the institutional partnership with the European Institute of Innovation and Technology. It's financed through that, and broadly speaking, Culture and Creativity brings together more than 50 partners from 20 countries all across Europe, and its main goal is to accelerate the development of the culture and creative sector. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for inviting me and having me. Greets to Prague. Sorry I can't join you in real, but I try my best.
As you know, our panel is about the culture and creative industries, but for us, maybe in Czech Republic, there's still a little bit of a fuzzy concept. There's still not a unified definition for every individual state in Europe, and now Europe is also pursuing this agenda. So maybe my first question is, can you explain us a little bit more what does the culture and creative industries mean and what's their role in the contemporary society in Europe?
Yeah, thank you. Let me give you two answers. One is kind of hands-on, and the other one is more statistical, theoretically. Hands-on, just imagine how you came to this conference here today. You likely read the news at your breakfast, maybe listened to music while coming here, maybe you even streamed a film. Obviously, you dressed, and by dressing, everybody dressing in Europe, you create a global market of 1,009 billion worldwide every year. Obviously, you're in a building, you're sitting in chairs, designed, furniture is around you, it might be even a cultural heritage. Obviously, it's about media and streaming, as we're doing here. So you can go to work maybe without your car, but you can never go to work without culture and creative industries. You use it every day, every hour, and sometimes even every minute. I'm sure somebody in the room right now is looking at his mobile, and that is interface design. The cover swipe, which we are all using in our mobiles, has been invented at an arts university in London and then bought by Apple. So here you see how design, content, and tech forms together a unique experience, and then economy, because we all want it, buy it every day, every minute. And so that's at the same, as much as culture creative industries is around us every time, every day, at the same time, it's kind of overlooked because it's such daily use. So we have a huge latent value, a hidden potential. And that's exactly what also definitions of member states and statistics then make visible. If we say we have 3 million companies and 9 million employees, a turnover of 450 billion in the creative industries in Europe, this is the overall framework of some 15 sectors. And of course, cultural heritage in Italy might be more important than in Denmark. And in Finland, design might be more relevant than in Spain. So it is not to be called fuzzy, but modular and specific for the traditions and the identity of a nation if definitions differ and vary. They have most often a nutshell where they have the same core, the inner core, but then there are differences from nation to nation. And, in France, restaurants and good food might be included. In Germany, it is not. So you see traditions over many decades and centuries in this definition. And that's something really important also to learn from, that definitions of culture creative industries today is mostly about the economic, the material side, the accountable side in turnover and numbers and visitors. But the immaterial side, the intrinsic value of culture is just as important. So on the one side, you have the growth of jobs. On the other side, you have the growth of cities, derelict areas. I've been working in my career at the Ruhr region, where some 100 coal mines were closed. We had 100 different nations living there, 5 million people, 50 cities. So what do? When 15,000 people get unemployed in 1 year in one city? And the Ruhr region was investing in culture, change by culture, culture by change was the claim, to show that especially in industrial reorganizations and changing societies, culture gives identity and an orientation as much as it generates new growth. So The opportunity to create a definition now for the Czech Republic should be seen as a twofold. Look into the statistics of the economic side, but also look on the social dimension of the definition. And I would recommend make a definition which is a joint definition of the cultural ministry as much as of the economic ministry.
Thank you. As you were speaking, for me, it feels like that there is a certain dynamics to the culture creative industries now in Europe, especially when we are talking about the EIT. For me, every 2 years or so, the EIT looks forward, says what's going to be the next big thing in Europe, and they start this knowledge and innovation community. It was climate, it was energy, food, health. Now it's culture and creative industries. And why do you think so? That now it's the right time to start it? Why now the Europe feels like that the culture creative industries are the key part for the transformation? Because you've been working on the strategic development for the culture creative industries for the past, let's say, 20 years. And now it seems finally the time has come. So why now?
I think the overall framework of the Green Deal, of the circular economy coming up, has been another push for our sector. Some 2 or 3 years ago, you realized if you want to have creativity circular in many value chains across many sectors, you need at least design thinking, but you also need media to tell the story continuously across sectors. So from there on, it developed, and I think the rise of design thinking in parallel to the circular economy is not an accident. There are relations, and could be another research field for universities as well. And then, of course, last but not least, I would say now in the last year, immersive realities, what is also called metaverse, this whole context is again a proof how much tech and content is related. And this, if you haven't realized by now, this is, I think, the final breakthrough when the artificial intelligence is now producing pictures and in fact doing what the artistic intelligence has been doing for thousands of years. So now we see how AI in this double sense, artistic and artificial, are really coming very close together. And it's really, I think, a magic moment for the creative industries, but also for the tech industry to look for the real synergies in this connectivity of tech and content in the coming years.
So, okay, maybe the last question, a little bit more personal. You talked a lot about the culture and creativity, which got, from my point of view, quite ambitious goals. And now we see also the overall dynamics in not just culture and creative industries, but also in a culture in Europe. So maybe a forecast or an outlook. Where do you see culture and creativity in 10 years' times in Europe if you are successful with the culture and creativity, and if others join you to form this massive wave of energy? Where can this get us in 10 years' time in an ideal world, maybe?
Yeah. Thanks for this very difficult question at the very end. So first of all, if we are successful, and for sure we will be successful, then we will see yearly trend monitors for our sector. We see this in many other sectors, that you have forecast and trend analysis. Scoping the future is essential for businesses to decide where to invest. We don't see this in our sectors yet. So this would be success number one. Success number two would be we have a deep understanding in the majority of cities and regions on policies for the creative industries. There would be not one region in Europe which has not an explicit strategy for creative industries. And the third, I think, we would really see an interconnection between culture and health, culture and mobility, and a revitalized, revitalized connectivity between content and technology. We have seen this breaking apart and being difficult because of IP regulation debates and heavy fights. But giving immersive realities now coming up, I think we have a new chance, to set up regulations that content producers and tech producers have a fair share and a level playing field of all the value they create. That would be the third success I hope for.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. Have a good conference. Bye-bye.